Thank you, Thano. And now to speak about the choir is our choir director, Melanie Berbulis.
Good morning, everyone. As many of you know, I grew up in this parish, so maybe when you see me, you still see that young girl cleaning up on Holy Friday, or that teenager grinning from ear to ear dancing with the Apollo Dance Troupe at Kane County Fairgrounds, or the young woman who gained more and more confidence through planning Goya events. There's no doubt that St. Athanasios has shaped who I am today and helped me find my personal voice. Out of all the ministries I participated in, choir was my favorite. I didn't have a big voice. I always admired my sister Mary because she had this naturally exuberant voice and energy, but there was something in me that wanted to sing. My mom, Kimberly, was a member of the choir, so I went up there and stood next to her, at first listening, and then singing along softly, and then singing along louder, kind of giving a hint to the choir director, let me in. Finally, I was able to join the choir. That's where I began to grow, not just as a singer, but as a young woman navigating her spiritual journey. And that's what brought me back here to become the choir director at the request of Father Paniotis 12 years after that. My choir experience here helped me discover that I actually had a voice that was pretty loud, and it lent itself to singing opera. My job became telling stories through song, embodying emotion, and giving voice to the unspoken. My parents, Kimberly and George, supported me in every step, and they always encouraged me with the simple words, sing to God. Not sing perfectly, but sing to God. I thought about this each time I nervously prepared to step on stage, and it became something that grounded me and reminded me that ultimately, using my unique voice was an offering to God. A few years ago, I transitioned into a new career path as a mental health therapist. Now, instead of singing opera arias, I hear people's stories of anxiety, fear, hope, and resilience. In counseling, I cultivate another part of my voice, not the voice that projects to the back of a theater, but one that listens deeply and responds with gentle assurance. When I think about these two parts of my life, the connection is very clear. Singing in the choir, listening in therapy, it's all about your authentic voice. It's about discovering how to use your voice, whether in music, in sharing your story, or in how we support others. Sometimes, though, using your voice is hard. Maybe some of you have thought about joining the choir, but hesitated, wondering if you might be good enough or not. Maybe you've just wanted to get more involved in the church, but you're nervous to put yourself out there. That feeling of anxiety is very real. It's something I see in my counseling work every day, and it's something I've experienced myself. As I thought about my presentation today, one recurring theme in Scripture stuck out to me. Be not afraid. Those words appear over and over again in the Bible, and in many different contexts. It's almost enough to become a prayer or a mantra in itself. Be not afraid, fear not. Over and over, God calls us out of fear and into trust. This is something I'm keeping with me as we take on a new challenge in this next year. In October 2026, St. Athanasius will hold the annual choir conference for the Chicago Metropolis Federation of Greek Orthodox Church Musicians. The last time we hosted this event was 25 years ago. This is a huge undertaking that is honestly already starting to make me feel a little bit nervous and overwhelmed. But I know that this is not the time to be paralyzed with perfectionism or fear, but rather to use my voice, trust in God, myself, and my community. And I will need your voices. Okay, I'm not going to make you sing in the conference, but joining me and the choir in hosting this conference. You can look at this idea of using your voice as another opportunity to give your time, talents, and treasure. And this is one of my favorite things about choir that can translate into the work of the church. While one voice is beautiful, many voices all together is powerful and transformative. So whether it's joining a ministry or taking on a new challenge, This is just a friendly reminder that you don't have to be perfect and you don't have to be fearless. You only have to be willing to use your voice, the voice that God gave to you and only you. I've learned that the more that we do this, not only do we begin to understand and accept ourselves more deeply, but we're able to grow in our relationships with others and deepen our connection with God. When we bring our voices together, whether it's in song, service, or compassion, God's presence is made known in our community. Thank you.
And again, thank you to Melanie and to Thano for their beautiful testimony. As we mentioned, today we celebrate all of the church musicians, so to all of our choir members, to all of our former choir members, and to all of our future choir members, to our chanters, our future chanters, Chronia Pola, may the Lord bless you and bless your voice as you, as we said today, lead us in prayer and sing to God. May we all raise up our voices, whether here within the church, musically, or in the privacy of our own heart, to the Lord our God, and may we lead those around us in prayer. Thank you very much. Last